Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry guys, I just had to make sure I had that post all ready to go so I can get just so everybody knows that I'm live right now. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of jump into it a little bit here. Anyway, good morning, by the way, guys. Morning. I hope you guys are having a good morning on this thirsty Thursday. Man, I made my coffee a little strong this morning. I need that pick me up. What am I looking at here? Bitcoin. Yeah, that's right. I was trading Bitcoin yesterday, like all day yesterday, just learning the charts and stuff. What is this here? That's my trading view. Okay, here we are looking at the SPY. Let's just pop this guy up here. Let's just give a rundown of the market as a whole here. Rich, what's up, dude? What was I doing again? Oh yeah, looking at SPY. How you doing this morning, Rich? All right. Well, man, that looks a little crazy, huh? My mouse. My mouse is driving me crazy. Looks like we spiked all the way up over here in the after hours, pre-hours to 737. That's crazy. Let's take a look at the daily here. If you guys haven't been following along and don't know what's going on in the market, let me tell you, we are ripping higher, guys. We are just creating new all-time highs. I was in Mo's live yesterday, and he's right. Um, he said, the market's never been higher than it has ever in the history of mankind than it has here today, which is very true. Every time you create a new all-time high, um, you know, it's a new one. It's new for the market, it's new for us, it's new for everybody. Hanging in there, bro. Well, I hope things get better. The weekend's coming up, brother. I hope you get out and do some little R&R, rest and recovery. Anyway, so here we are here at the daily here for SPY. And look at that. Like I said, we peaked all the way up at 737. That's like all the way up here. And that was in the pre-hours and in the very beginning of um, pre-market. So after hours and then the pre-market, as you can see here. And it looks like we're right. You have the RSI overbought. Now, just because this is a little learning lesson here, just because these are overbought, now it is more likely that it will come down. It's just not if, it's just really a matter of when. So that's really important to kind of pay attention to. This can stay overbought for days, sometimes weeks, and sometimes months. So when you do get these signals, it is important just to kind of um, use it, like I said, as a general guideline. Like I said, this can continue to be overbought. I don't think it's going to too much. I don't think we have a run up here today. I think we have a nice little sell off here. And another thing I was going to do with you guys today too is I might be just doing, I might get into one trade with you guys here today, just a real trade. We're going to do some paper trading here. Um, get some practice in, and then if I see a really good setup, um, I'm going to enter the trade. So we'll kind of see here. But yeah, like I said, I think today is going to be a nice seller's kind of day. I mean, I could be way wrong, but normally that's what you get um, when you're overbought and the market's when the market's at all-time highs, at new all-time highs. You got to be kind of careful because it creates a lot of volatility, and that volatility could easily go in any direction. Obviously, we're in a bear's case. So, thank you, bro. Hope you're doing well too. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm not doing too bad. A little tired this morning, I think, more than anything. Um, and my Robinhood's taking a while to load up here. right, look at SPY on the 15-minute here. And the 1 minute. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna head lower over here. Okay, cool. Also, guys, if you guys haven't already, I think Mo's running a promo code for the first 100 people to get in to sign up for the Earner Plus tier. I don't really make the rules, guys. I thought Sunday was the last day. I guess he's running a promo. So if you guys haven't already, like I said, you can scan the QR code up here above with your phone, and it'll pop up my little digital business card right here, or you can click the description if you're on your cell phone or whatever, and you can click my links to financial freedom, or you can just click this link right here. This is also my digital business card, and it's going to pop up with all of my links to the Earner Plus tier, lifetime, and then the payment plans. And then you can also do an annual if you want to hang around for a year and just not have to worry about payments or stuff like that. And you can just be like, okay, here's a year. Let's see what we're doing here, and just give us a good solid 365 days of learning. Also, you can follow me at X, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and if you guys haven't already found a platform, you could use one of my platform links right here. I personally use Robinhood to trade, and I also use Bull to trade too as well. I like sticking to Robinhood a little bit more. It's a little more my style. I like the layout of it. Obviously, it's all customizable, so I'm just gonna kind of look at the option chain here and just look what we got going on. All right, so it looks like we had the 5 cross and the 13 here. Let's just kind of jump into it. What are we at? We'll go to the minute here. Let's check out the 1 minute time frame. Okay, pre-market consolidation right here. Just straight sideways trading in this channel. So I would expect to kind of channel surf a little bit here on the bearish side, obviously, because we had that 5 and 13 EMA cross the 50. So, and you got the wash, but you could see a little curl up here for a little relief, I think. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame here. All right. We do have that gap all the way down to 717 to 717. So thinking more into the future, that's where I think we probably head down to as we get hit with that overbought on the daily. And as you can see right here, we're kind of creeping down. We had that big overbought right here. It makes me think again too, because we had one the other day. Where was it? We had a spike just like this the other day in the pre-market, I think on one of the 1 minute time frames. So you got to kind of watch out for that. So we'll kind of see where we're headed on that. Let's look at the overall market here really quick and see how we're doing. Buy Apple, Meta, Mongo, BTC, this Microsoft. Boom, Microsoft. All right, Microsoft's looking like it's trying to catch a little bid here. Not too bad. Yeah, it looks like things kind of want to curl up a little bit. What's the MACD? MACD is looking like it wants to come down, come down. This one already is kind of coming down, obviously. Avago. Meta's having a nice little run this morning. Apple looks like it had a nice little run this morning. All right, we could wash lower here looking at how everything else is looking. Yeah, look at Microsoft kind of coming down here to 714. All right, yeah, so I expect a leg down. What time is it right now? All right, we got a couple of minutes. Got about 4 minutes until we can start doing some paper trading options. So let's just get a good practice run here, and then I'll probably execute one real trade here with you guys on Robinhood, just to kind of show you how I like to trade on Robinhood as well, and how we can correlate paper trading into real trading. So that's what we're going to be doing here today, just to kind of show you guys the actual value of paper trading and what can and cannot, well, not really what cannot be accomplished, but what can be accomplished by just learning the charts and executing plays outright. So let's see if we can get a little, where's the bottom here? Looks like the bottom is at 734.08, so let's look for that. It looks like we kind of already touched it right there. Let's go back down to the 1 minute time frame over here. Yeah, right here, let's see. No, we didn't touch it yet. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw this little line right here. Here, let me demagnetize this. Let's see if we get a bounce right here. Let's see if this comes down and it bounces off of this little line right here. Because that's what it looked like the support is right here. It's where you got the biggest kind of support. Boom. And also, I guess you kind of have a pre-market gap that you're filling right here. Filling. I think I might risk a call here. Let's see if we can get it here in the next like minute or two. Now, a lot of trading is just looking for different setups and different types of plays. So, you know, when you kind of get your generalized, it shouldn't take you too long to execute, right? So you kind of already, let's run down what I'm thinking right now, right? I basically already kind of did with you guys. I'm thinking, what am I thinking here? We're in a channel, right? Consolidation channel. Not bullish, not bearish, but slight upside. Slight upside, not really too much of a downside. Looks like we had a gap right here that we just filled. Boom, it looks like we bounced right here off of this kind of support area, kind of ripped back up. And it looks like we came down and we filled that gap. See, I put this line of support and it looks like we're heading up right now. So we're going to test the 13 here. I think we come back down again after we test the 13. Yeah. See, that's exactly what I was thinking. Boom, we come test the 13. Looks like we're going to come down here again. It looks like we're actually going to test this line. So I'm going to wait for this line really quick to see if we actually bounce off of this support. And what we're looking for here too as well is we're looking for confirmation. And confirmation is normally around 2 to 3 candles. Well, I say roughly 2 to 4 candles. 2 to 3 is really pretty much the sweet spot. Sometimes I wait for a 4th candle, but you shouldn't have to wait too long. The candles pretty much speak for themselves. So, and it looks like we're kind of in a tight spot right here. Let's see if we come back up here for a bounce. And I'm going to get ready right over here for our first paper trade right here. So where are we? Boom, 0 DTEs. What strike are we at? All right, cool. We're going to go with 734. So let's go back to the chart here. Oh, see, it looks like it already did. So it looks like it's not even going to come back down here again. Let's see if we can get a little small push down to get a good entry price right here. See, boom, yeah. And you know what? We'll just draw a line right here too. We'll just draw a little trend line right here. Just to kind of get a general idea. All right, looks like we hit right here. We're still kind of coming down. Remember, we are bearish. We are overbought on the daily, so this could still push down lower. It does not mean that this line is going to hold. And it looks like it's not right here. So let's see. Boom. Little small breakdown. Coming back up a little bit, testing this line. Now, this line could be acting as a resistance, as it could have been. It could have previously been a support. It could now act as a resistance. That's why it's also good to kind of draw your lines to see where you're at. All right, looks like this might be an engulfing candle, question mark. Let's see here. What I'm personally looking for too, as well, as I'm looking for this little blue line. I'm looking for this candle to stay above this little blue line. So let's see what the next 1 minute candle comes down to. Like I said, we're waiting for confirmation on a couple of candles, 2 to 3 preferably. All right, so this is candle number 1, right? Because we broke structure. Here's candle number 2. Let's see if she kind of holds. It looks like we are. We have little volume right here, which means we could still push down. So got to be careful right here to not get lost in the sauce. All right, looks like the line is holding here. We got about 30 seconds until next candle. We'll see what happens here. It looks like we're kind of pushing down. I think I'm going to risk it. I think I'm going to risk it on this next candle here. I'm going to risk a call. So I'm going to line up the calls right here. Obviously, the bid. I'm going to do a 733 call. Ooh, actually, never mind. I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm doing it. Let's go back and check on the overall market again. Yeah, boom, we're a whole dollar lower. Yeah, it was Microsoft. Look at this huge engulfing candle on Microsoft sending her down. Looks like the EMA is rejected. This is a 50-50 shot here, folks. 50-50 shot. All right. You know what? Actually, we're going for a 734 call right here. Let's get her lined up. Look at the RSI too. RSI is at 34. This would be a good. Let's see if we can get a nice cheap price. Waiting. 25 seconds until next candle. All right, I'm about to go in right now. All right, I'm going in. I'm placing the trade. I don't want to sell. I want to buy. Boom. All right, we're in. We're in. We'll see how this candle treats us. We're in a bear. Obviously, fighting the trend. Trend is your friend. Remember that, guys. Don't fight the trend. I'm slightly fighting the trend because I'm looking for this little support area. Remember when I talked about this earlier? I think in the last 2 videos, when we're looking for a general support, I personally look for a generalized area of support. Oof, yeah, see, engulfing candle. Bad idea. But yeah, as I was saying, you're looking for a general area of support. So that's what I'm looking at here. So we'll see what happens here. Not liking this. Creating a new lower low. I'm going to stick it out though, because like I said, the RSI is at 31. It's at 30 right now, so I would expect this to kind of come back up a little bit. Not saying it will, but that's what I'm looking for here. I'm kind of trying to gauge it here. So let's see what these next couple candles bring. I'm looking for that little curl here. Like I said, probably might not get it here. All right, so our exit plan 2 is going to be right up here. It's supposed to be a quick little play. I was only looking to top in right here to this, which we still probably might still get it here, guys. Remember, this is the joy of paper trading. You're testing out your theories. You're here to practice. You know what I'm saying? You're here to practice a practice run for trading. So, all right, we're looking. I don't know how we're looking. We're looking all right. Look at the MACD right here. You see these little claws? They're kind of curling up a little bit. You see how we had this long sell-off? That's also why I'm looking for a little slight relief upwards here. And like I said, we're looking to kind of gauge it right here at 734 to 750-ish area, because that's where we have the most volume, which is kind of right around the VWAP in the 50. Oh, man, I should have got out on this upper candle here. Remember, guys, don't hold your trades too long if you're not comfortable with big losses. So entry was okay here. I guess I should have came in. I should have got an entry off of this next other candle instead. We'd probably be sitting a lot better. But like I said, you just got to kind of gauge out your plan and execute your plan. So you guys already heard my plan, what I'm looking for. And it's always important to have an entry and exit plan here. So, and it looks like the bulls want to get in here. It's just the bears keep slapping her down. And you can see we're only down about 80 bucks for the play currently. Because like I said, we're kind of just sitting right here in this little support area-ish channel. All right, RSI is looking like it's curling back up. So you can see right here too as well. What is this RSI telling us? Boom, we pop up, we rip down a little bit. Pop up, rip down, pop up, rip down, pop up, rip down. But we're slowly climbing on the RSI. So hopefully we can come up and have a little blow up top right there just to kind of touch the area where I want to go. All right, how are we doing in the overall? Here comes that curl. So entry was slightly early. Yeah, that's what I was hoping we don't do. It's another 13 test, so we might reject right here again off of the 13. Hopefully not. I would hate to see it again. But these are pretty full candles here too, guys. If you guys are looking at these candles, these are full candles. These aren't, you know, little minuscule candles here. All right, here we go. So yeah, so I was I was still happy with the entry that we got. Because we still had the right idea. We were just slightly early, and that happens in trading. You just get in slightly early or slightly late. You never really know. Timing the market is near impossible. So here's that 13 test. It looks like we're rejecting again. God. And I'm hoping this MACD, see the MACD is curling back up. It's pinching there. It's leading me to believe that we're gonna have some bullish momentum here pretty soon. We just need to beat the 13th for once here. We can't. We literally just can't right now. The bears are just like, nope, slapping them down with their big old meaty claws here. All right, here we go. And remember, guys, we're looking to exit right around here. Here, I'll put a line so everybody can kind of see. So as you can see, obviously we got two little lines, one right here where that previous support was, where we had that bounce. And then this is the line that we're looking to kind of exit at. As you can clearly see, that's where the most kind of volume is currently. So right around this area here, we're going to be looking to exit. So, all right, we should be in profit here. We should be up right now. Here we go. Here it comes. It's like I got a crystal ball. I'm reading the future. I was just slightly early. Here, boom. All right, here's the 50 test here. Now we need to beat the 50 here to kind of move up. Remember, we're gonna get out right around here, so let's get ready to sell. Boom. All right, here's an engulfing candle. What play are we in? 734. What's our average price? 136. All right, so we're at 167, so we should be up some money. What did I say? 160. So I'm gonna actually preset this to one. You know what? We're gonna go $2 here. We'll see if we can get a $2. We're gonna sell at $2. We're gonna set a sell limit right here, down here at the bottom. Well, you can't really see it, but here it is. Boom. I'm gonna preset right here $2 for 130 or 734. So we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna sell all 10 contracts at that time. So we got it queued up right here. You can see it. It's already queued up that I got right here for my orders. They're working. So order entry, it's how you place your orders. Order fill right here. Boom. All right, beautiful. So we're testing the 50 right now. We should be up some good money here. So it's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. We're coming up. We're coming up to this line right here. Right here would be the place to get out. We're just kind of all over the place. You know what? I'm actually going to modify that order. I think I'm going to get out. Actually, I'm going to hold out here. I'm going to hold out. We have the momentum. Looks like we're just trying to beat the 50. We're testing the VWAP right here, this little purple line. We had one test here. We are testing again right now. it doesn't look like the bears want us to have it. So if you're following along, it looks like it says we're up 60 bucks. I'm pretty sure we're up a little bit more than that. We're looking for $2 here. So you can also watch your the limit price fluctuate right here, because obviously this is the call that we're in. So it looks like we're at 137. What's our average right here? Average price 136. $152. Yeah, all right. So it doesn't look like it's gonna want to stay up there. So let's modify this. Let's go back down to we'll just go to 160. We're just gonna queue that up. All right, looks like we're back down again. Theta is just eating that contract away. So it doesn't look like it got up to my sell line here yet, which is okay. We had the general idea. That's why sometimes it's also good to get out early. So we're just going to close this out because that's a full engulfing candle right there. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to cancel my pre-sell right here. And that's another thing too here, guys. If you guys are setting up sell limits and they don't hit, you know, it's always good just to kind of manually it's always good to kind of manually exit your trade. So it looks like we lost this trade right here. 160. I'm going to give it another couple of candles here. Hopefully we don't head lower. But I'm hoping we come back up for a retest up here. The only reason why I'm going to hold this, even though we have this engulfing candle, is like I said, we had this little support area right here. So we'll see if this actually holds or if it folds here. Now, it's extremely risky to do this, but you never really necessarily know if you're going to get that rebound here. More times than not, you don't necessarily, because you have that engulfing candle. But like I said, that support area, we'll kind of see how it goes. Looks like we're sitting at 140. We're down 140. But this is pretty much right where we entered the trade anyway. So Theta and time decay pretty much kind of destroyed us on the contract, which happens. So you kind of have to pay attention to that too. You know what I mean? Time decay and Theta. All right. So it looks like we're coming back up here again. Here we go. Oh man, we're just getting slapped hard. So you see this line right here? Like I said, this support area looking like it might be a resistance. At least that's what this candle's telling me. We'll see. Obviously the candle hasn't closed yet, so I don't know. We got 14 seconds. Careful, that thing about the drop, Rich. I don't know, man. It looks like it looks like it's doing what I said we're gonna do here. Got that 5 cross in the 13 again. Boom. All right. So here's that support line on TradingView. See, and that's why it's a little different. See how my Webull is different than my TradingView? The Webull said we basically came up, tested the 50, when in reality we didn't necessarily test the 50 on TradingView. So, and also look at that, boom, we got another indicator right here. We got 2 indicators. So like I said, the momentum kind of is still here. This is still acting as a support area, even though this line was the bounce. Like I said, you're going to want to use it as a general guideline there. So it looks like we're kind of back in business a little bit. We're only down a little bit of money. Like I said, we're looking to exit right up here a little. Boom, here we go. All right, here we go. Here's the next candle. And remember, guys, this is why it's important to have entry and exit plans ready here. You guys already know my exit plan, so let's come up. Let's see if we can just get up right here. This is where I'm looking to get, just to test the 50 on the right here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Not doing too bad here. All right, all right, all right. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here's that push. Now we're at the VWAP here. Let's see if we can beat above. We're looking to beat. All right, remember, guys, if this crosses, if the 5 crosses the 50 or the 13 crosses the 50, we could have some bullish momentum still to continue upwards, like I said. All right, here we are. Here's the real test right here. Okay, we're coming up to my line right here. Here's my sell line. Let's get ready just to kind of get out. Man, dude, we got a terrible price on this contract, honestly. Plus 70 bucks. What was that? Last price 143. All right, let's just close this out at 150. I don't really want to hold on to this too long. I'm going to close out at like 150. We should get it, and we should get this bullish momentum upwards. But you can see too clearly it hit my line right here. This candle hit my line basically. All right, so we already got a preset sell here for our orders. Remember, we're selling at 150 here. We should get out like right now-ish. We should be getting out. It should be selling here pretty soon. Just waiting for this to load up. All right, beautiful. So we had the 5 cross the 50 here. So let's see if we can get a little bit more push up. Boom, look, we're up 100 bucks. Boom, you can clearly see where we're at right here. I'm just going to drag this over here so you guys can see. All right, boom, here we are. Let's see if we can get the 13 across right here for this momentum. What's going on, Amy? Morning, how y'all doing? All right, looks like we are out. Bang. We're out. We hit the play. And like I said, did you guys follow along of what I was looking at there? I mean, like I said, I mean, that was pretty I thought I explained it fairly well. Did you guys not understand anything of what I was looking at personally for that trade? So, you know what? Actually, let's just do a breakdown of what I was looking at here again. So let's just do a gentle recap. Obviously, we came all the way over here for this morning for the pre-market. This is also why I look at pre-market, after hours and stuff like that. I use these as general guidelines of what possibly may happen. Not saying that it will happen at all, but we do. So we came over here. We do have a gap right down here to 733. I'm just now looking at here too as well. From after hours to pre-market here, and that's where you got this huge rip up for this Bollinger Band break over bot signal. But we came back over here. We looked at this little candle right down here. Boom, we can clearly see that this one was a support candle, right? Was selling off, bounced real hard right here. We gapped up. Looks like we continued up all the way through to the morning. We came down, we filled the gap, right? We filled the gap. I was like, all right, this is a support-ish area. We don't know, obviously. It could be, it couldn't be. And then I was like, all right, we're looking for confirmation candles. Came down, I was like, oh, I don't really like that, but I'm still gonna get in here because, like I said, I use this line as a general guideline support, obviously. So it looks like we are consolidating basically right here too as well. Huge candles, slightly bearish. Was a little just a little nervous there, just slightly. And then I was like, all right, we got in. I think I got it. Where did I get in? I think I got in. I don't remember where I got in. I got in somewhere over here. I think on this candle. I think I got in on this candle. So we got in, it pushed up, but then we rejected and we came down and I was like, oof, bad price. It was either this one or this one. So anyway, we came in, rejected, but we came back up and then we tested right here, which would look like the 50 on Webull. And then we kind of sold off. And then I was like, all right, well, hold on. Don't sell yet, right? Because if we sold, we would have sold at a loss. Remember, guys. Rejected. And I was like, all right, let's see if this area holds as support, which it did. It did hold as support right here. I mean, I guess you can call this a support bottom, kind of. And then boom, we rocketed up, came all the way back up. We had the 5 crossing the 13. I mean, we did technically leave money on the table, but it did exactly what I wanted it to do. It came up, I was looking for the test right here. And this is a good line too. It was either this line or it was going to be this one. But I was looking for something simple because technically we are in a bearish trend right here. I mean, you see it, we were in a bearish trend, but we broke out technically. So right here was a good area to either one, you could do two things. You can do a few things here. One, you can sell half right here, right? We had 10 contracts. You could have sold 5 right here and then been like, all right, let me hold the other 5. And if you did, I would have sold the second pair of 5s right here. I would have sold the second the second set right here, maybe half again, so maybe 2 or 3 contracts. And then that way, boom, you took profit here, you took profit there, and then you have a little bit more running room to either come up and test right here the opening candle here. So there's 3 layers to this. You guys see this? Of what I personally would do if I was trading with real money and real capital as well. So you can do it multiple different ways. I don't really scale out too much. I do price target predictions, kind of what you just saw right now me do. Boom, we come down here. I'm like, all right, I'm setting up. I'm going to sell right here. And that's what I did. I sold all of them right here. Take profit. And then I'll be looking for another setup. You know what I mean? So, morning, Blurple. How's it going, brother? I hope you got your coffee here like I do. So that's a little easy, simple way that you could easily scale out of your contracts when you're trading. So that way you're taking profit along the way, and then you're also allowing your contract to run, right? If you do still get more of that breakout. So you can see it looks like we kind of topped right here. It's looking like this candle was the candle for the top. So, and that's the second part about this too. You can do it in increments. See, I was a little too excited there. I should have probably put this one right here because technically this is the step down right here. This would be the step down with the initial flush right here with the EMAs crossing. So those are easy, simple ways that you could, like I said, scale those contracts out. So if you guys found that information helpful, just hit that like button down below. I would appreciate it I would appreciate it. But yeah, so anyway, did you guys have any questions of what I was looking at there, or what I was looking at, how I was thinking about it? I mean, I gave a pretty good breakdown of what I was thinking about. So I reset this yesterday. I don't know why it says 140, but we made 540 on that trade. By the way, man, I already drank all my coffee. Oh, lucky you. I woke up a little late this morning, so I had to like rush to make all my coffee. And I use a French press, so it's like I gotta wait and let it sit for like 5-10 minutes. I couldn't get that sweet bean juice, you know what I'm saying? Love that bean juice. All right, so it looks like we're kind of coming down. Looks like we tested the 13 right here. So let's see if we can do a little, I might do a little trade here. I don't know. I might do a little real life action trade here. What are the contracts looking like? They're not too bad. They're not too pricey. Looks like we have a 50 test right up on here. Let's go to TradingView. What are we looking like here? I don't want to get smoked. Because this candle right here makes me a little nervous. This little sweeping candle, this makes me nervous. I was thinking about possibly getting a put, but we had the 13 cross the 50 right here on the 1 minute. And on the 15 minute. On the 15 minute, it looks pretty good too. MACD looks like it's curling down. See, Microsoft looks like it wants to head up. Microsoft looks like it wants to head up. Oh man, Nvidia is what really made that one take off there. Look at that. Nice 3 solid good candles. Look at that. Nice, beautiful. And you see how this is fanning out too? Nice bullish momentum on Nvidia right now. Vago kind of lagging behind, but looks like it wants to curl up here. You know what? I think I'm going to risk it. I think we're just going to risk a little small put here, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to wait really quick though. I'm going to wait though here. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, that just makes me nervous. I don't know if I necessarily want to do it. 15-minute looks like it wants to break down. It did technically bounce right here, though. The 5 did technically bounce right off that 50. MACD is looking like it wants to curl back up. Look at these little red bars right here. This light bar right here is making me think, don't do it. That's what my mind is saying. But the other little demon on my shoulder is saying, do it, Chris, do it. All right, well, I mean, I guess it's technically a waiting game. How much time do I got left here? Ooh, I got like 15 minutes. All right, let's just do it. All right, we'll just do one contract at 45. Let's see if we get in here. All right, looks like we're in. This could burn me really bad. We'll see. Yeah, look at that EMA. Oh, I didn't realize we're opening a next 15-minute candle here. Let's see if we get this rejection right over here. Man, I don't really like it. That was a bad play on my part. That was a bad entry, actually, on my part. Okay. Oh, looks like we gapped down. Oh, looks like we're up. 15, 17%. Volatility is absolutely insane right now. I have no idea. I kind of don't even want to stay in this. What's going to happen here, guys? This is insane. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that candle. This might just rip to the ceiling. Kind of funny how we got into a trade and immediately we just see some insane volatility, huh? It looks like it kind of swept everybody out there. It looks like it was a bear trap. It swept everybody all the way down, all the way back up. We'll see here. I'm hoping on the rejection under. That's what we're looking for here. We're at break even. You can see right here where I am, obviously, in my positions. All right. Yeah, look, see, it came all the way down and ripped off of that support. You see that line that I had here? See, this is why it's important to also chart your lines out too, because it could seriously help you out in the future to kind of see where we're going and where we're at. All right, beautiful. So that's exactly what I want here. Let's see it go under. Let's see it go under. We're up $3, 6% on the play here. This is a limit. We can sit right here with the market. Market orders are a great place to have this just sell automatically for. You can just click the button. I personally like the limit because I like putting a price target of what I want to reach. You know, for example, 50 cents or 60 or 70 or whatever it is, um, to get in there and to get quick in and outs. Market is the way to go. But remember, the market is always going to be um, the last price right here. My bank is so weird. If I try to put money on the exchange or anywhere, my bank flags my account. I need to switch banks every morning. I have a problem. Does anyone else have this problem? No, I personally don't. You know, if you have a Cash App, well, I don't know who you're using for I don't know who you're using on your platform or whatever, but if you use Robinhood, you know, they do instant deposits and stuff like that. So you can use a PayPal account or a Cash App account, and if you have you know, a debit card or whatever, you can use that information, and it should instantly transfer for you. That's a little way that you can beat around your bank situation, I think, maybe. Transfer it over to your PayPal or Cash App or Venmo or whatever platform you're using, and then use that platform to fund you know, your trading account. So that way your bank doesn't flag it as much. It's just you simply transferring money over into another account. I don't know if that's helpful or not. All right, guys. This play is still making me pretty nervous. I mean, I know we're sitting right here at break even. This is literally a 50-50 shot. MACD on the 1 minute looks like it wants to rip up. The 15-minute also kind of looks like it wants to rip up, which makes me nervous. I'm hoping that the 5 crosses the 50 again. That's what I'm hoping for. Not that we'll get it, but that's what I'm looking for here. We had that crazy volatility down here, which makes me think that we also kind of swept out the shorts. So that could have been a bear trap right there and just got everybody just destroyed or entered into the trade to stop them out. Yeah, so this looks like it's about to head up. I think I'm going to exit that play. I think I'm going to get out of that play. It doesn't look like it's going to hold out very well. Microsoft's looks like Microsoft's ripping again. Look, you had the EMAs cross. That's bullish. This is bullish again. Nvidia looks like it's slowing down a little bit. Avago looks like it's picking up. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be heading up here. Microsoft is definitely leading the way, and I think it will lead the way. Everything looks good. Oh my God, I never thought about Cash App. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem, Amy. That's what we're here for. Oh, God. My heart. My heart. Yeah, so if this crosses over right here, we're done. We're pretty much cooked already. We're 20% down on the play. I'm really reevaluating things here. All right, I'm gonna close this guy out. Yep, MACD crossed right over here to kind of head back up a little bit, so All right, so let's see if we can get this little top right here. I don't think so. I think we're going to beat. This is fanning out right here. And like I said, this support acted as a support for a bounce up. So it looks like we're going to be retesting this upper top right here too, which I originally had on the Webull chart. So it looks like right there we might get that rejection. I'm holding I'm holding off on selling until we beat up here. All right. Looks like it rejected. Luckily. Boom, we're back down at the 50. Looks like we're back down at $3. Let's see. Let's see here. Sometimes you got to hold through the chop here, guys. You got to hold through the chop. So I like this. This engulfing candle pretty much invalidates these two other candles. This engulfing candle and this candle. So hopefully, looks like we're going to head back under. We had that bounce, had that support bounce up. Looks like we might be trading in this zone. Bollinger Bands, if you guys look here, guys, is pretty tight too as well. So you got to be careful here. So let's see if we can get this 5 and 13 across under the 50 to get us a wash and beat this support right here. That's what we're looking for. All right, I only got about 5-ish minutes. So did you guys have any questions about anything? Anything that you liked, didn't like? Do you guys understand what I'm looking at? The vision that I'm seeing? I think I explained it pretty well, what I'm looking for. Oof. See, now here's that time decay and theta. It's going to eat us away. Here we go. Let's see it. Let's get under the 50 here, huh? I kind of like this candle if it closes out red. If it's a red hammer candle, I would love to see this kind of head back down. What we don't want to see here is we don't want to see the bounce off the 50. This is very possible that we just come back and we head back up to test. That's not my arrow. That's not the one I want. Oh, there we go. It could come up and retest right up here off the 50. So, which it looks like it is right now, even though we did get this red hammer candle. Looks like we're going to come up and retest this line right up here. So we're not out of the woods yet, folks. We're not out of the woods yet. See, we don't want that. We want this. This is what we want. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for that downward test here again. And also, I wasn't really too upset about the entry that we got too. Entry was pretty good. You see the EMAs right here? We just didn't get it. The EMAs looked like they were going to cross and they were going to come under, which they technically did. We did get in profit there for a second. It's just we didn't take that profit. I was looking for a little more. That's where the greed sets in, guys. You got to kind of know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And I was holding them out thinking we were going to have a nice big wash technically, because we are overbought on the daily, so I am expecting some profit taking at some point. I thought it was right there. It wasn't. A better entry would have been this right up here off of this top. I would have been happy with this entry right here. But like I said, I still like the play. It could have played out in our favor. I was just preemptively looking for that entry there too as well. And that's pretty much a lot of trading is. Sometimes you'll get in a little too early or a little too late. Even though it looks good, you know what I mean? It just happens. Sometimes it just happens. So you shouldn't be really too upset about your entry and exits if it looks good on paper, which I thought it looked good on my end. So it looks like we're only down $5 right now. So like I said, I'm going to kind of hold on to this. This makes me nervous. The 15-minute makes me nervous here. Let's go look at the 15-minute in TradingView really quick too. Yeah. Yeah. This is not a good one. We came down, tested the 50, we bounced. I would expect this to head higher, honestly, in my opinion. But like I said, we do have that slight bearish not divergence, but we have that bearish I have the bearish mindset because like I said, the Bollinger Band was or it was overbought. So I'm thinking we're gonna have some selling on the daily. So we'll see. It looks like we got that little small push down again. Not really. Thought we were having a bigger push. Oh, well, technically, yeah. So these EMAs are fighting each other. I don't know if this is going to head up or head down. It looks like it wants to head up, honestly, in my opinion. So we're playing with fire here, guys. We're playing with fire. And this is another way to do a small amount to not risk as much too as well, is to get into a small position. This is a very small position, just out of the money. Sorry, Palantir. Hey, bro, when you have a chance, can you check Palantir out? Balance stock, I'm curious about your thoughts. For Palantir, they're okay. PLTR. Let's look at the daily here real quick. We look bearish at the current moment. Looks like you're having that sell off. It looks like it wants to break out. You do have a top, you do have a gap up right here. 186. $186 gap right here. It looks like it wants to break out. It just got rejected again off of the 50. You have multiple 50 tests right here. Multiple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Momentumly, I'd be looking into a call to fill this gap up. But you are technically bearish. Yeah, you are technically bearish. I'd be looking for a breakout right here. That's what I would be looking at. All right, let's go back to the SPY. So yeah, I would just be looking at, I'd be bullish right there for the short time frame. Looking to fill that gap up there. All right, looks like we got that 50 test again. Nice engulfing candle down. I like to see that. Unfortunately, guys, I got to go to work. I got to go work in my 9 to 5, so I got to get out of here. So I'm going to let this play run a little bit. Looks like we're only down $3. Not bad. I might get out of this because the 15-minute just looks like it wants to rip up. This thing looks like it wants to rip. Makes me nervous because I don't know which direction we're going to go. I mean, not nervous, but you know what I mean? Like, I want to be right is really what it is. I'm not nervous about the play. I have lots of winners. I have lots of losers. So the emotional part of it is out for me. It's just, I just like getting excited. Like, I don't really get too upset about these things, but I do get extremely excited about things. All right, guys, but I got to end it here because, like I said, I got to go to work, unfortunately. So, like I said, if you guys found this information helpful, hit that like button down below. Also, guys, if you guys haven't already, like I said, Mo's doing a promo. I think for the first 100 people to sign up for the Earner Plus tier, the price hike did happen, so you only get, I think, like a 35% discount now or something like that, 30% discount. So if you haven't already, just scan this QR code right up on here on my YouTube account. You can also subscribe to me as well. And if you guys are on mobile or anything like that, you can click my description right here and you can use my links to financial freedom. That's what I like to call them. You just click on that guy and it's going to bring up my digital business card. And then I have everything up over here for you. So we got the monthly, which is the first, the lifetime, and then we also have the payment plans too, if that's what you guys are interested in. Or if you guys just want to be like, hey, I want to hang out for a year, you know, I don't want to pay monthly, you can do that too as well. And then you can follow me on all my socials on X, YouTube, Twitch, Kick. And if you guys haven't picked out a platform that you guys use or want to use, I use the Robinhood and I use Webull, like I said. So you can click on these guys and you can sign up using my link too as well. We get our, if you guys do, obviously you can read right here. If you use my link, we'll both get gifted a stock from Robinhood. And I think the same thing for Webull. I have no idea, honestly. But those are the two platforms that I like trading on the most. They're very simple. They're very customizable. So you guys can do that. Oh, and it looks like we are down still. Yeah, see, oh man.